You hate my movie!
Wait, the 2003 one?
Yeah.
No, I've not actually seen it.
Oh.
I mean, I just heard it sucks, and since it's not in the MCU, I don't have to watch it.
You hate Iron Man!
What? No, I liked that one.
Yeah, just take it easy, man.
Look, guys, okay, the MCU was off to a great start, so let's just sit back and see what the Incredible Hulk has in store for us. Of course, the 2003 film by Ang Lee wasn't as well received as Marvel had hoped, but originally they wanted to make a sequel to keep the story going, even featuring the Grey Hulk with the leader and the Abomination as the villains, as they wanted a true genuine threat against the titular character. They aimed for a 2005 release, but the studio, Universal, failed to meet the deadline, so Marvel were now financing the production themselves. However, they then felt they should take the franchise in a completely different direction.
Yes.
Louis Leterrier, who was a big fan of the Hulk TV series and actually liked Ang Lee's movie, wanted to direct Iron Man, released that same year, but Jon Favreau had taken that project, so he was offered this one instead. Originally though, he was reluctant as he didn't believe he could match Ang Lee's style, before Marvel said, "Oh no, that's good, don't copy that garbage, we're making a new one."
That'd be so great.
He wanted to show the Hulk's first ever appearance whilst also showing Bruce Banner's struggle with the monster inside him. They wanted to tackle the metaphor of fighting your inner demons and learning to control the strength that you didn't quite realise you had inside you, as well as making it more of a love story.
I want to get rid of it.
Weirdly, this is actually supposed to be a follow-up to Hulk, even though that one isn't considered part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They intended for this to have a similar tone to the TV series, but to also have the same continuity as the Ang Lee movie. The studio did, however, reject numerous scripts, and Eric Bana was offered the chance to reprise his role, but he turned it down before Edward Norton was cast as the lead, but only if he could play the part and to help write. He only had a month to hand in a draft of the screenplay, and he managed to do it whilst fixing the script as they went along, though Zach Penn wrote most of the screenplay. Norton did, however, rewrite many scenes almost every day. Ironically, Leterrier really wanted Mark Ruffalo in the part, but the studio refused and insisted on Edward Norton. But Norton originally said no, worried how the movie would turn out after the last one. It wasn't until he met with Marvel and the director and heard their pitch and their vision that he finally agreed. The actor did, however, go to comic conventions claiming that he wrote the entire screenplay. Bit of a douche move. Why did he get recast?
I don't know what to say.
They also decided to just make a fresh reboot as they didn't want to make another long origin story. But in Ang Lee's version, audiences were bored waiting for the Hulk to show up. So they just rushed to get the character involved as quickly as possible instead of just telling the exact same story all over again. But apparently this is still a sequel as well as being a reboot. But Ang Lee's Hulk isn't in the MCU, so I haven't seen it and I don't have to see it. Therefore, anything in this movie that confuses me, it's this film's fault.
That's impossible.
But Norton admitted he wasn't a fan of origin stories, so as far as he was concerned, they were just completely ignoring the Ang Lee movie. Regardless, filming began on July the 9th, 2007, and Leterrier had to shoot a lot of it on a broken foot. They had to close off Yonge Street in Toronto, Ontario to shoot the big fight at the end, and although they wrecked the place with explosives and burning vehicles, they did manage to clean it up quickly so everything would be normal again the very next day.
I think so.
There was actually around 70 minutes cut out of the film, focusing on the Hulk's origins. A lot of this was briefly put into the opening credits, which does look really intense by the way. This is actually an awesome opening. And the movie was shown at a test screening, but audiences weren't happy, finding it far too similar to Ang Lee's version, which is why the origin stuff was all cut out and compressed to the opening. Originally, Bruce was going to go to the Arctic to commit suicide, and he'd even see the frozen body of Steve Rogers in the ice to foreshadow Captain America: The First Avenger. But the director didn't want this scene lost with the intense opening montage. More issues occurred when Edward Norton and director Louis Leterrier clashed with the producers over the movie's running time. The studio wanted it under 2 hours, but they felt like it needed to be longer. And this led to rumours spreading that Norton was refusing to cooperate with anyone who disagreed with him, and all that mattered was that he was happy with the final product. Norton denied this and claimed that people were just publicising and twisting things out of context. Nah, the internet doesn't do that.
I don't think so.
The Incredible Hulk was considered a moderate success. It earned a worldwide total of $263.4 million, but it only barely passed its predecessor financially, making it the lowest grossing film in the entire MCU, though it received mostly positive reviews. Many admit it seemed unnecessary to reboot the Hulk so soon after the last one, but they were pleasantly surprised, though some others found that it under-delivered after the huge success of Iron Man, finding this one much more dull and lifeless. After the movie came out, naturally a sequel was in talks, and Norton claimed they really wanted to make one, and that's why they deliberately left a lot of things out of the first one. However, the director confessed that since the film didn't earn as much money as they had hoped, he was doubting that a sequel would actually happen. Many of the cast were signed on to come back, but then the movies crossed over and the sequel kind of just fell into the abyss. Producer Kevin Feige decided to not bring back Edward Norton in the role when making the other movies, though Norton claimed he chose to not return as he wanted to do other things. Of course, Edward, you're not bitter.
No, I know.
Once Mark Ruffalo played the part in the crossovers, fans loved him, and talks of a sequel came back up. There was a whole dispute over the rights to the film, causing more issues, but Ruffalo seems hopeful that another standalone Hulk movie will happen sometime soon. But is The Incredible Hulk a worthy follow-up of Iron Man? Or is it as bad as Ang Lee's Hulk supposedly is? Is this where the series starts to go downhill? Have I run out of random unnecessary rhetorical questions? Well, let's find out. This is The Incredible Hulk. Maybe it's just me, but during this opening montage I can't help but think, doesn't Edward Norton look an awful lot like Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? So Bruce Banner, played by Norton, is all alone with his dog in a broke-ass neighborhood in Brazil.
Controle. Movimentando o diafragma.
Okay, this looks gross. I don't want to see this. Alright, he's being trained to control his anger. Awesome. Alright, mate, calm down. Bit rude. But he's learning to hone his rage and keep his heart rate below 200. Well, here's the obligatory love interest. Well, actually, it isn't. Huh. Alright then. So Bruce works in a factory, but isn't the most careful worker. Wow, he even has super slow 3D blood. But it doesn't matter. His blood remains in a bottle and gets mixed in and shipped off to the States. So Bruce is in hiding, talking anonymously to someone called Mr. Blue under the name Mr. Green. What, are we in Reservoir Dogs all of a sudden?
How about if I'm Mr. Purple? I mean, that sounds good to me. I'll be Mr. Purple.
So Bruce has something in his blood and he uses a microscope to watch him mutate. Mr. Blue wants to help with this experiment, so Bruce sends a blood sample to him in New York. Okay, so we basically find out later that years ago, Bruce was involved in some experiment to make humans immune to gamma radiation, but it all went wrong and causes Bruce to transform into the Hulk for brief stints whenever he gets excited or angry, leading to the military wanting to use him as a weapon. And Bruce has this whole thing about, oh, we have to be careful with who gets their hands on this. You know, it could fall into the wrong hands. We've got to be responsible with this gift. But then he has no problem sending samples of his blood to a random person in New York that he has never met.
Yeah, I should say so.
This is when we get a flashback to the obligatory Stan Lee cameos. He drinks Bruce's blood and dies. Way to go, you killed Mr. Marvel. I hope you're happy.
Glad I could help.
But I guess Mr. Blue is a miracle worker because he already finds success in the experiment and he believes he can cure Bruce, but he just needs more work. Meanwhile, the military begin to close in on him. I swear to God, they better not kill that dog or I'm done with this franchise. Okay, good. What? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Are you kidding me? Oh, we'll just kill the dog. We'll just kill the dog. What? Oh, we'll kill the dog, yeah? Did you hear that, Deadpool? They kill the dog! No! 1001 movies that kill dogs? Is that the next? Look at all these movies. Dracula, they don't kill a dog in that, do they? Any of these? No! Bro! What is going on? Any of these? Can any of these movies? Any of them? No! Okay, Halloween. But other than Halloween, you don't kill a dog! Mr. Marvel, whoever wrote this script, suck my okay? F you! Right now! DC's better. DC? Officially better than Marvel. And Marvel, you can clean up this mess. I mean, what the did the dog even do? I don't even understand! This was just uncalled for! The dog was innocent, you sons of face waffles! Go! Go! You know, if this was America, they would have just shot all the civilians by now. The chase scene is definitely intense though, and because we don't find out why he's being chased until later, it's just really dramatic. You want to know what the hell he's done. He does manage to slow his breathing to calm himself down too, which is really cool. Except, do you have any idea how fast 200 beats a minute actually is? Rah! How is he not the Hulk already? Look how... It's not 200, but like 200 is like running a marathon during World War II, being bombed, running away from Hitler, whilst on a treadmill with a jetpack on your back. Like, I don't even know how that makes any sense, but my point is, 200 beats a minute is insane! He should easily hit the Hulk level way before then. Are you kidding? 200 a minute? But damn, Bruce really shows exactly what he can do. And hey, it's Tim Roth. This really is Reservoir Dogs. But some randomers jump Bruce, the military intervene, and that's when it happens. Oh, yeah! I love how they still keep the Hulk hidden too. He's always kept in the shadows. It's almost like a damn slasher film. They're being picked off one by one. This is actually quite disturbing. Jesus Christ, this isn't Marvel, this is like a scene from Jurassic Park! Even the first look at it, and it's still half in the shadows, but the CGI is damn impressive and certainly better than the 2003 one.
It threw a forklift truck like it was a softball! It's the most powerful thing I've ever seen.
Alright, they do a great job hyping him up as this huge monster. He's this big threat, an unstoppable force. It is really well written.
Yo no hablo portugués.
Where? ¿Dónde estoy?
Jesus, he can speak like 4 languages. I can barely speak one.
To read makes our speaking English good.
It's so weird having a superhero running from the law. I mean, we've seen it from Batman and shit, but this is a guy with no equipment or anything. He's literally just on the run. It is a really interesting angle, and you're still dying to know what the hell he's done. So he manages to find his old girlfriend Betty, played by Liv Tyler, who actually accepted this role before even reading the script. The thing is, nothing is even said here, and yet we already sense so much sadness and regret. We don't even know what's happened, and we get all the feels. How they do that? But then she walks off with another man. Huh.
That sucks.
Look at this. The Hulk is a pizza boy. Also, this security guard is Lou Ferrigno, who played the Hulk in the TV series, which is a really cool touch. I do like the fact that they have the Norton 360 antivirus software for Edward Norton. Alright, I'll give him that. Clever Easter egg. Although, he literally correctly guesses the password of his ex-girlfriend's account, who he hasn't known for years. Okay. So Betty and her new man visit the bar where he's hiding out in, and then she spots him, and this is actually super emotional, man.
Bog trotter.
So Bruce hides from her. God, how is this so emotional when we don't know anything? She does drive after him and they console each other. Wait, he literally hid from her like 20 seconds ago. Why isn't he running away now? Don't kiss. Oh, they don't. Okay, good. But what a surprise! The military decide to dissect Bruce's disease to use it against him as a weapon, testing it out on Tim Roth. And this is my problem with Marvel and all superhero movies. Remember when I said a lot of them are pretty much the same? Well, we're only 2 movies in, and it's the exact same plot! So Iron Man has a suit, so what do? The bad guy uses his powers to create the same thing but bigger and better and use it against him. Well, the Incredible Hulk has a disease, so what do? The bad guy uses his powers to create the exact same thing but bigger and better and use it against him. They're literally just proving my point now.
It takes a toll, doesn't it?
Man, how is she even going to explain this to a new boyfriend? Oh yeah, honey, so my crazy fugitive ex-boyfriend is staying with us for a night. Is that cool, babe? Okay, thanks, love you.
You have everything you need?
Yeah.
Don't kiss. Oh, they don't. Okay, good. Okay, just because you're not kissing does not mean you're not cheating. You are being way too affectionate to your ex-boyfriend, love. You are taken! Anyway, the army shows up and soon gives chase. But man, Betty has balls. She jumps in front of a tank to protect him. I mean, we do find out that the general is her dad, but still!
I always knew it.
So Bruce gets chased and trapped into a glass corridor. They send some smoke canisters inside.
Get her back here!
Oh, and now Bruce mad! I will admit, the scenes with the Hulk are so good. They don't usually last very long, but that just makes you cherish them even more whenever they're on screen. And let's be honest, they're the reason we watched the film to begin with, aren't they? So Tim Roth squares off with him with his new Hulk abilities. His grenade launcher doesn't work, but I guess the mutation just gives him some gymnastic skills? Seriously? That's it? Oh, you're the Hulk? Well, watch me show off my acrobatics, bitch. Jesus Christ, can anything stop this thing?
Is that all you got?
What? After all that hype, and then he just gets slapped away like a little It is really emotional though, as Betty now views him as a murderer, and that's without any dialogue. It's a huge compliment to Liv Tyler's performance. Just the look in her eyes as she looks up at him, now seeing him as a monster. But then he protects her on some King Kong So wait, can he control it or not? Make up your mind! Oh yeah, we totally believe she's dead.
He protected her. You almost killed her.
What a shock. Almost tricked us for 20 seconds there. Wait, shouldn't Bruce have changed back to normal by now? Why is he still the Hulk? What's he angry over? This movie's box office? Okay, that looks hilarious. Damn you, rain clouds! Ah! Okay, so she calms him down and they sit together in the rain, but one criticism I hate to give the film is we don't know anything about their relationship. I've no idea if I need to see the Ang Lee film first, but this is also a reboot, so I shouldn't have to. But there's nothing to their relationship for the entire film. She's the only one who can calm him down, sure, but that's it. Bruce has proven he can do that himself anyway. We know nothing of their past or anything. As this happens, it is really emotional, and the film is very good at pretending there's a lot of development in their relationship, but once you break it down, there isn't. But yeah, somehow Tim Roth is still alive. No. I know he's got these new ballet abilities, but nah, not buying it. But haha, technically, Bruce isn't a murderer, yes.
Bruce?
Man, has she even rang her boyfriend to let him know where the hell she is or what's going on right now? Come on, girl, at least keep your man in the loop.
It was so big, it was like this huge, like Hulk. Yeah.
Why would you even describe him like that? Wouldn't you say, oh, this big green monster? Why would you say Hulk? Kind of look like Hulk Hogan. Like.
I don't know how you've done this on your own for all this time.
With clippers, usually.
You have a boyfriend! And then she full on cheats! Fantastic. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. They even go out of their way to say that her boyfriend is a really nice guy.
He's a head shrink. They say he's one of the best, but a really nice guy.
So why are you breaking his heart, you horrible people?
Wait. We can't do this.
It's okay.
No. I can't. I can't get too excited.
Oh, so the only reason that you don't want to f her is because you can't. Not because it's wrong to bang another man's woman, but it's just because you can't. Well, is every Avenger an That's 2 for 2. And does this also mean he can never have sex? Again, 200 beats a minute is ridiculously high. That's gotta be some sweet.
This is a whole new level of weird.
But hey, Tim Roth is now awake and seeking revenge! Well, that didn't take long. So they get stuck in a roadblock as the cops are checking every car, so they ditch it, walk off and get a boat to New York. But they really don't paint New York drivers in the best light. And this is when they meet the scientist, Mr. Blue in person. But my god, Tim Roth deformed looks like me with my shirt off. But anyway, they strap Bruce down and attempt to get rid of the disease.
Alright. We set to pop?
You know, this dude is way too calm considering Bruce could turn and murder them in about 5 seconds. But this transformation looks incredible. This is the best one of the movie. We're on some American Werewolf type shit right now, but it's CGI instead of practical. But Mr. Blue is clearly a moron who struggles, so Betty decides to... F him? No, she just calms him down to bide some time. But it's like Mr. Blue does everything in his power to f it all up.
It's okay. You're okay.
He's fine.
Yes! He's cured! And he's completely when the bad guy shows up, but yay! He's cured! No, they deliberately leave it ambiguous. They're not sure if he actually is cured or if they were just able to sustain that one particular transformation because, you know, gotta get them sequels. So the army show up ready to blast him away. Again. But of course we gotta do the whole absolute power corrupts absolutely cliche as Bruce wants to destroy all of the samples before Roth comes in ready to finish this.
What is it? Show him to me.
Okay, that doesn't happen. But this dialogue is awesome.
I will never forgive what you've done to him.
He's a fugitive.
You made him a fugitive. To cover your failures and to protect your career. Don't ever speak to me as your daughter again.
So Roth knocks out a soldier, kidnaps Mr. Blue and makes him turn into a Hulk. This is literally Iron Man! Remember the time we cheated on my partner and you stuck your in me? Haha, good times. I love you, baby. So Abomination is born and kills Mr. Blue, which causes confusion as a Hulk is spotted while Bruce is elsewhere being taken by the military. The design of Abomination is incredible though, except it looks like the lizard had sex with Doomsday. And it looks great as he tears through the New York traffic. This is like a horror movie. It looks like Godzilla. This is Marvel.
Give me a real fight!
Yeah, Hulk should never speak. Just looks silly. But Bruce wants to go back, hope he still has his powers to kick its ass, because why not rip off Superman 2?
You don't have to do this, please. This is insane.
Betty, I've got to try.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're such a much better kisser than my boyfriend who I love, who supports me, trusts me, and cares about me. He's such a nice guy. Now on my face.
Wait, what?
But Bruce literally risks his life. He actually jumps out of the helicopter and just hopes he transforms. Dude, imagine if this went wrong. I'm sure there are safer ways to transform than leaping out of a helicopter and risking your life. But also, are you telling me slapping him in the face with a gun and stealing his woman doesn't transform him, but risking suicide does? And don't tell me, oh, in the comics he can't actually die, he's immortal. Guess what? It's not in the film. Not in the film. The film should explain it. You can't expect me to watch all the source material and read everything. No, it's not in the movie. Therefore, valid point. And there's the big shot for the poster. I can't help but think. Imagine if Bruce transformed to go and kill it, but then they just ended up teaming up and killing all the public together.
Come on!
Stop making him talk! So the fight is on, and it does look so cool.
Is that all you've got?
Stop talking! So the army starts to help out Bruce, but things soon go airborne. Two Hulks are fighting whilst hanging from a helicopter! This movie is literally jacking me off right now. Oh yeah, and I'm sure everybody survives this helicopter crash. Or at least the ones who matter. See? Told ya. So the fight continues. God, it looks amazing. Let's go!
You don't deserve this power.
Stop talking! It looks ridiculous! But uh-oh, Betty is on fire! Okay, no, f*** off. Bullshit, no!
Any last words?
Yes, stop talking!
Hulk! Smash!
Okay, that's the only time I will accept a Hulk speaking. That was actually kind of badass. But of course, we have to begin the trend where Betty stops Hulk from killing him. Yeah, because the hero isn't allowed to kill, remember? Except Iron Man and Pepper. That was okay, you see, because Hulk is a whipped. I will admit, the CGI tends to add a sense of remorse to the character. It doesn't show straight up rage or anger. It happens a few times where he clearly doesn't want to resort to this, but he knows he has to. And that's from CGI. Although this is set in New York and not once does he actually climb the Empire State Building. I mean, you might as well go all out with the King Kong ripoffs. You got the relationship down.
You gotta let me try.
So he heads to Canada to learn to hone his powers before his eyes turn green for a cliffhanger that never gets used, before Marvel gets confused and uses the after credit scene before the credits.
I've always felt that hardware was much more reliable.
Oh, look, it's Tony!
I hear you have an unusual problem.
You should talk.
You should listen. What if I told you we were putting a team together?
Okay, the cliffhangers are pretty good. And that was the Incredible Hulk. Not as good as Iron Man, but I still really enjoyed it. The action is great and all the fight scenes are perfect, probably better than Iron Man's. And I do sympathise with Bruce's character. You know, when he's not banging someone else's girl, but his struggles, his inner conflict, is handled really well. The love story is an issue. It's sweet that she can control his rage and only she can control his rage, but not enough was developed there. It should be show, don't tell, and we don't see anything that indicates their relationship is strong or that shows their journey together. And in fact, the character of Betty doesn't even do a whole lot in the movie. She's used to keep Bruce calm at times, but he's proven he can do that himself anyway. In Iron Man, Pepper was a strong part of Tony, and she was even the one who kills Ironmonger at the end. But here, you could take Betty out of the entire movie and nothing would really change. I didn't find it dull though, I really enjoyed the story. I just think certain parts needed to be developed on more, and it could have benefited from a longer running time.